True.
Now, that means it's a pretty depressing thing to say, but this world is not our home.
Yep.
Right. Just boot camp.
You got it.
Thanks, Leonard, so much. God
Okay,
bless.
thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for sticking with us, guys. That was quite an interview. We did not expect it to go that long. However, it was fantastic. Learned a lot from Leonard in just those 3 hours. Anytime he talks, so you pretty much learn a lot. We covered everything from Syria to family.
The petrodollar.
The petrodollar. We talked briefly at the end about the birth certificate. Again, as Sam mentioned in the intro, you know anything about that, hit us up. One thing that we both absolutely loved from this interview was Leonard's quote where he said, "We've made a religion out of sport, a sport out of mocking religion, and all we need is a personal relationship with Jesus Christ." And we're not trying to knock if you got your favorite football team, and neither is Leonard. I mean, I'm not a dedicated football fan, but I like the Patriots. Maybe I'll watch the Super Bowl, but honestly, it's not that important. And I know a lot of people I've grown up with who they spend so much time. It's all about football, Monday Night Football. That's what they talk about all week long. Their Facebook posts, blah, 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 blah. And, you really just want to focus on your relationship with Christ. And I really feel like that quote from Leonard really sums up what we're about here at God's Property Radio.
We're not saying not to watch football. We're just saying, like anything, it can kind of become an idol. I mean, for me, I came from the music industry, and I used to just go buy CDs and go to shows and buy merch from bands and play shows because I was in a band, and put everything that I had, pretty much all the stock that I had, into the music realm. And I have to look in the mirror at some point, and I have to just say, well, am I wasting a little too much time on this? Am I putting anything in the offering plate? I mean, at some point we have to go and say, whatever hobbies or passions that all of us have, there are a lot of people out there that are suffering that we could help. There's a lot of causes out there that we can donate to. And as far as, just thinking about what we enjoy all the time, sometimes it's good to branch out and study things that we're not as familiar with, just to make ourselves more well-rounded.
Mm-hmm. Just something I know I had said it in the interview, and I'd meant to in the introduction, but I'll wrap it up with this for me. As we study this genre, as any Christian, if you're studying this genre of end times and prophecy and secret societies, the Nephilim, what's coming, what's been, when you look at this genre, you need to come to the conclusion, and I'm convinced that if you're honestly looking at it, you will come to the conclusion that people need Jesus Christ, and you need to share the gospel with them. And that's where this should drive you, is to share with them their need for Jesus Christ and how they can have a relationship with him.
It should amp you up about getting into God's word, really, because everything, like Leonard said, the Bible is just history that hasn't happened yet.
Absolutely.
A lot of it has already happened, but some of it is stuff that's prophetic and that has been fulfilled and that is being fulfilled and that hasn't yet been fulfilled. One thing I wanted to point out, just for those of you who enjoyed the interview and enjoy what we're doing here at God's Property Radio, I wanted to point out that in the next interview with Leonard Ulrich, which is a 2-part interview, which will pretty much eat up our next 2 episodes.
It was awesome.
That interview was pretty awesome, I will say. You don't get too much dialogue from Dan and I on that one, and you're going to get a whole lot of studying. Leonard basically just makes us read articles in it, and it's pretty rad. We talk a lot about media control, mind control, but one of the things that he mentioned in this interview toward the beginning, I think, first half hour-ish, he talked about how he finally thinks he understands what the mark of the beast is. And he briefly gets into that in this next interview that we're going to be putting up next. So stick around. We'll keep you posted. We're pretty stoked on what we're doing here.
Absolutely. We're all geared up. As we mentioned, we've got some more guests lined up. And we just want to do this. For all we know, there only may be like one person out there, whoever will listen to this stuff. But If this impacts your life and it helps you grow in your walk with Christ, then we have achieved our goal. So hope you enjoy it. Shout out to Leonard. Thank you again.
If we can save one person, if we can help bring one person to Christ, I guess we've done our job.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. It was worth everything. Well, guys, it's been great. Glad to have you here. Again, shout out to Leonard. Thank you.
Until next time, don't buy into what the world is selling.
Thank you for listening to God's Property Radio. We thank you for your prayers and support. Until next time, don't buy into what the world's selling.